and from your father, also wishing
and from me.
And from Nathan. Is he your mate or something?
David, I can't tell. I think David and I may be age.
Is he a Bleobi?
No, he's not.
Okay. So his mother taught you where?
At the Ghanaian Teachers of Languages. She taught us, what do you mean, Sam? English, really. We did English.
Okay.
And then she was so when I started my national service, she was the head of the English department.
Knowing you, your language teachers will be your favorite teachers.
Oh, yeah, I love
Because as for you, the way your life is. So she taught you English at the tertiary level?
Yeah, tertiary level. Writing.
You learned English at tertiary level too? Did you pass?
Oh, of course.
So, but who's been your most influential teacher?
Wow.
Okay, let's split it up.
JHS. The most influential teacher I had was Mr. Kwabla Kwade. He was my English teacher. JHS 1 to 3.
Datus.
Yes.
What did he teach you?
He taught us English, Mr. Kwade, action man.
Why do you like him?
I like him. I think he was a very interesting teacher, and he made English really nice.
You liked it?
I liked it.
What about SSS?
SHS, my favorite teachers, Dr. Shinofori, then was Mrs. Shinofori, again, English teacher.
Then
Mrs. Ajiman,
who's
French teacher. Mrs. Lily, yes.
She let me say what you said in French. She taught you French. How do you say she taught you French in French? To teach is what?
Elle m'a enseigné le français. Elle m'a appris le français.
What's the difference between étudiant and élève? Élève is a student.
Élève is like pupil.
Je suis élève.
Yeah, I'm like a pupil. Étudiant is student.
I'm a student. Okay. So Mrs. What?
Mrs. Lily Ajiman.
So all your favorite teachers are women. Okay, no, the man was. And then university.
Let's see. That's an interesting one. So Mrs. Amable was great.
Yeah.
Mrs. Amable was great. Initially, some of the French teachers, some way, but I grew to like them.
I had a few.
So you went to Martin Porris. So who will be your best, most influential?
Most influential too, but top of the list would be BB Grant.
What class?
BB Grant came to Martin Porris when I was in the 4th grade. Still there.
Martin Porris in class 4.
Yes.
And then that's what basically what did he do for you?
BB Grant, career advice, school guidance. BB Grant was a teacher who would sit down with you and have a conversation about your options, share life experience. He was young. When BB Grant came, he was young.
Yeah.
Benjamin Grant.
Wow. Yeah. So you could connect.
Yes. He was like the best friend to most of the students.
And this is class 4.
This is class 4.
Still remember?
Yeah, he's still there. He's actually still teaching.
He's still there?
Yeah, he's still teaching.
I actually saw Mr. Last at a program some time back. He's the head of school now.
Oh, okay. And
so that's class 4.
Class 4. And then,
what about JSS?
No, hold on. I'm coming. JHS, so Mr. Grant was very influential. For me, like top of the list of most influential at that level.
Mr. Grant.
Mr. Bakoko.
Also class.
Mr. Bakoko taught me in 5th grade.
Class 5. Mr. Bakoko. He was a class teacher.
Yes, he was my class teacher.
Yeah. Mr. Bakoko.
Yes, okay. Mr. Bakoko. I was smart, but I did not have focus.
So he brought you focus.
Yeah, he had a way of letting you think about what you are doing.
Yes.
And then of course, Mr. Rahman.
Also class.
That's JHS.
Yeah,
Mr. Rahman poured water on the floor and asked me to sit in it. In JHS too.
you learn sex.
Yeah, but the reason why I was close to Mr. Rahman again, Mr. Rahman, walked that fine line between being young and being old. And he was very soft spoken. He didn't say much.
Wow.
But he was.
What subject was he teaching?
Mr. Rahman was teaching, I think, math at the time.
Mr. Rahman.
Yes.
So still Martin.
My JSS math teacher too. Mr. Lawe too was really great.
Yeah.
Mr. Lawe was.
Did you understand the math?
Yeah, he. I understood it. I always say what scarred me in math was secondary school.
Don't mention his name.
Okay.
But
he had a very horrible math.
I know him.
Yeah, don't worry.
I know him. You mentioned his name before.
He said his. Let me say mine. When he had the opportunity, he mentioned the person's
name. He wants to finish on Accra teacher.
We're not giving him a chance to go back. Now, in secondary school.
Yes, secondary school.
Of course, Bratia, government.
What's his real name?
Mr. Atiemu.
Government.
Yes, whose father was.
So you did pure.
I'm a pure arts man.
So you did government.
I did government. I did history. I majored in history.
Hey, and what?
Literature.
Hey.
Economics.
Hey. You did 4 electives.
Yes, I did 4 electives.
Government, literature,
history, economics.
Charlie, my time.
Yes.
With 98 and 96 to 98. They started an A3 class to do what you are saying, but they were not many. Because I think the school didn't contemplate. Generals was Jog Accounts Maths.
Okay.
And then I think they realized that there were some people who preferred that. So that class, they were like 12.
Okay. So Mr. Atiemu was the government teacher. He had an incredible way of letting you understand government. He was brilliant. Mrs. Otu,
Mrs. Otu, also SHS.
SHS, literature.
Lit.
Yes. And I loved literature for obvious reasons.
Okay, so you did government.
Yes.
And you did history.
Yes, I did history.
And you did economics.
Yes. TK Mensa, aka Tie.
Why are you giving plenty teacher shout? I want your most influential. And I mentioned
No.
two.
You mentioned history. He was teaching. I'm just
Okay.
saying that.
But the most influential in Prempe was for you.
If you are talking about most influential,
Your
Mrs.
3 years.
Otu.
Mrs. Otu.
Yes, I think Mrs. Otu was
Literature.
very influential. Literature.
Wow.
Mrs. Otu. Because again, Mrs. Otu allowed us to see beyond secondary school. She was teaching material that wasn't just relevant for secondary school. So she made it very easy for me when I went to the university, for instance.
She prepared
and I
you
was
for-
doing modern drama.
Yeah.
For instance, I had modern drama very easy based on the foundations Mrs. Otu gave me.
Super.
And she was a holy child woman. She had a very formal way of teaching things, and she spoke English.
More.
Mrs. Otu's challenge.
So when you write and she's marking.
Challenge.
So if you get an A in your paper, you actually got it.
Mrs. Otu.
Yeah.
So she asked for her, like for me, top.
Wow, interesting. Maybe we can talk about university later. By the way, this is all because we have World Teacher Day yesterday. We are celebrating our teachers. And if you have a teacher who's been influential in your life, why not go ahead and let's know who they are and what they did. I would say in primary school, there were 2 teachers who did very well for me. One is actually in Kumasi. She's called Mrs. Jayen to me in class 4S. And I wasn't a very good student in class 4. And I was given a prize for good progress because I didn't really understand certain things. And you know what she did? She put me in what they call remedial class in class 4U for Mrs. France to teach me because she felt maybe her teaching style was not working. And at the time, I didn't understand. But as an adult, I appreciate what she did because basically she took some of us she felt we were promising but were not pulling our weight. And she put us in another teacher's class for remedial, and it worked wonders. For a teacher to have that vision, she's still alive in Kumasi. In fact, she sends me messages still. Mrs. Bian to me, amazing woman. Then class 6, Mrs. Owusu Benoit.
Okay.
Too good. I mean, she was just amazing. She still has a school now in, I think, Maijo area. I think I need to find the school. Social affairs. Mrs. Owusu Benoit, class 6. She was just, and in those days, we used to sit. They will sit you from first to last in this class, right? And I was always around 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
So you sat in the order in which you
So
performed.
on the first row, I'll be at the back with Enu Akotia. So we were number 10 and 11. But what I like was that she would spend so much time, even with the guys on the right, who were supposed to be, I don't know why they were doing that, who were supposed to be struggling.
The weaker.
She was just amazing. She would motivate, she would talk to you. She was just great. So I think in primary school, class 4, I was also taught by Mark Jordan Amati.
Okay.
He forced me to learn the times table.
Okay.
There was a day, I think there was a day he asked a random question that somebody should give the 9 times, but students couldn't give it. And he said, if you can't learn the times table, no break. And that day, we all learned it. His name was Weze. He passed along, Mark Jordan Amati. He passed away a few years ago. So Mrs. Dia to me, class 4. Mrs. Owusu Benoit, class 6.
Mark Jordan.
Yes, Mark Jordan was also good. Mark Jordan used to tell us stories.
Okay.
So he was incredible. And I think SSS, Mr. Niamonkote, he's the best geography teacher ever made.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look, from my brothers who went to Presec in the early 90s to guys who went there in the 80s. People didn't like him when he was senior house master because he was tough.
Yeah.
But as a geography teacher, I don't know any teacher who's that good.
Well done to him.
Ni Amonkote, wherever you are, Charlie. More blessings to you.
And at uni?
Uni is difficult. I would say Babuating.
Babuating.
I would say Babuating because, Babuating.
You mean Professor Babuating?
Yes. I mean, he taught us micro, but he also taught labor economics. He's a proper teacher.
Those from the village background, when they teach you,
give him chalk, he will fold his thing. As they say, so Babuating is the head of department now. Charlie. I mean, Babuating. And he encouraged. He knew I was in media. I was at a radio university, and he encouraged it. He didn't frown on it and say, "Oh, you come in." No. He said, "Look, the media you are doing to help your economics, so do it." So even though there were a lot of good teachers, I would say the professor who really supported me would be Babuating. And it wasn't as if I got plenty A's. You know, but when you grow, you realize that some people who were tough on you were actually good for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say Babuatin, Charlie. Texting was also good, but Babuatin was Charlie. And he was from the village school. He went to Kumasi High. You know, he's a big man.
Well, for me, let me see.
Yeah.
At undergrad level, it will be a woman Siedu.
Awo,
Man Siedu,
What's up?
School of Performing Arts. She was teaching modern drama.
Awo, man.
Yeah, she's currently, I think she's the dean of the school.
I see.
Yes, Dr. Professor O. Mane Siedu was outstanding for me. Sandiakest,
Okay.
the late Sandiakest.
He talked about people,
He was my directing lecturer as well. He would open your mind to things, you know. But in terms of pure influence, okay,
beyond the classroom.
beyond the classroom, Godwin Kote.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
Godwin Kote influenced me.
He was
in-
youngish, eh?
Yes. I was his TA.
He was youngish.
Godwin Kote influenced me in so many ways. You know, Godwin would sit down with you and say, Godfrey, you can do this, you
Die
can
too
do
early,
this,
Charlie.
you can do that.
Oh, Charlie.
He would take you along on projects he was working on, so you would experience, and he would actually give you free reign,
Charlie.
and he would supervise you with what you were doing.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
Godwin was
There's an interesting
immense.
text message here from Tony Senaya, who went to Prempeh. He says, I did an interview this week where I was asked some of my favorite and influential teachers. Guess who I mentioned from high school? Mrs. Comfort Otu. She taught me English and literature at Prempeh College. Like you mentioned.
You see?
So, Mrs. Otu, wherever you are,
Yeah.
your students have risen to the occasion. I'm looking for more votes.
I see. I mean,
Here's one interesting one. Bernard, I designed Mrs. Owusu Benoit School at Achalibotre. Wonderful woman. This is from a listener called Ben. This is my favorite teacher from class 6. A few more coming in, I'm sure, on this. But let me do two better requests because I think we missed out on 2 before we get to the teachers, and then we'll pay some bills. Please help us wish Dr. Alexander Mensch Akowa of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital a happy belated birthday from the 2000-year group Beta Class Association International School Airport. So this is Alexander Mensa Akowa of Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This is coming in from the 2000-year group of Association International. Lots of shouts are coming. One of the things you can do for your favorite teachers is to buy them a Mercedes-Benz, come together, put money together and buy them a car.
Not bad.
Silver Star Auto, the original Benz bosses in Ghana for the past 25 years, inviting you to take advantage of our free inspection promo and save big. Enjoy free inspection of your Benz vehicle. Enjoy 15% discount on genuine spare parts. Visit any of our outlets in Accra, Graphic Road, Tema, Kumasi, all the way to 13th October. Terms and conditions apply. There's also great news from UBA. Call a friend to tell a friend that UBA is running a back-to-school promo from now till 28th October. We're giving out amazing gifts. Send or receive your money transfer at any UBA branch or agent location and walk away with your Fala gift. Call UBA on 0302-634-060. Terms and conditions apply. And Fun Yogo is good for you. It's back better and it's restored the original taste and texture, whether it's the exciting new mango passion or the classic strawberry. Fun Yogo is here to give you fresh taste and great vibes. Fun Yogo is so cool, so good.
but you know, you're talking about influence, right?
Yeah.
I would say 2 teachers. Again, Dr. Shinofori. I always say that without her, I don't think I would have written my SSCs.
Hey,
Because a few months in the exam, I hit rock bottom. I
Charlie.
wasn't feeling confident. I'd become very afraid.
she said,
of
you can
writing.
do it, my brother.
And she was our school counselor, so I went to see her one day. And then she sat with me, encouraged me, prayed with me,
Wonderful.
and it stayed.
Do they still have counselors in SS?
I don't know if they still do. And
And
then
we had one, the late, we called him Nana Diajimai. He was a chief.
Oh, wow.
Actually, he was also an English teacher. He was in the 70s when he was teaching us.
Wow.
Actually, yes. Nana Diajimai.
Wow. So Shinofori helped you cross that bridge. And who else?
And then David's mom, Auntie Jessie.
Okay. English.
She supervised me during national, so it was the first time I was actually, being supervised by somebody, working in that environment. I was young, I was lecturing, and she was taking me through the ropes.
While we're at it, we want to say again, congratulations to Faith Akujakbasu, best teacher for the year, or most outstanding teacher for the year for Ghana. And then we also want to remember.
There were others as well.
Yes, I wanted to just give you the name of the guy who won the best teacher for Africa.
Africa, okay.
There's a beautiful story on him in the Finder newspaper.
Okay.
And I just wanted to highlight his name is Mr. Bismarck Kwame Tunu, chemistry teacher at Opoku High School, who's the best teacher for the Africa Teacher Prize. Whilst we are at it, Alex, my friend, says I should announce that Yilo Krobo Senior High School is doing their speech and prize giving day tomorrow.
Okay.
The 7th of October on the theme Unearthing Skills, Talents and Competence of the Ghanaian Child, the role of stakeholders. And this is the guest of honor, or the guest speaker is Dr. Osei Educhum, Minister for Education. This is happening at Yikrosek. You know Yikrosek? It's at Sovanya.
Okay.
Yikrosek at Sovanya.
All right. Let's do a few quick announcements. Sukasa is saying that if you want a luxury home that's great, it's affordable, it's lovely, they've got a lot of those in the Sukasa Ograntin communities. 3-bedroom units with an outhouse, 4-bedroom units with an outhouse. Get in touch with them on 0302-296-0865 or 0553-697-886 or send an email info@sukasa.com.gh. Sukasa Building on Trust. Now, sometimes buying car insurance isn't the problem. The problem is when you forget to renew, and then something will happen, and then the police will stop you or get into a crash. Instant car insurance is now on Haptel. Get your instant car insurance sticker anytime with no wahala. No long things, just install the Haptel app. Enter your car number for your instant insurance sticker. You can also set a reminder for your next renewal date. So go to haptel.com/app, install your Haptel app, and set a reminder to renew your car insurance today. Haptel is everything you. Now, Botho University is at East Legon, very close to the A&C Mall. They are providing first-class tertiary education. They have 26 years of experience, and they have a perfect blend of physical and distance learning facilities. Now, what are they teaching? Tech-embedded degree programs, health information management, cybersecurity and risk management, software engineering, network security, and computer forensics. Now, the first 150 students will get a 50% scholarship. There are 100% scholarships also available for brilliant but needy students with applicable T's and C's. Now, they also have exchange programs with their sister campuses in Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, and Eswatini. So call them on 0302-523-782 or send a WhatsApp message to 0209904714 or send an email to ghana@bothouniversity.ac.bw. Botho University, vibrance, innovation, impact.
Lots of votes coming in. So Selassie says, my love for mathematics, nurtured by Mr. Queno, a.k.a. Culture, Infantipim School, a.k.a. Culture. This is Kwabuche. His love for mathematics was nurtured by his teacher. Isn't that wonderful?
That could have been my story.
Emmanuel Duku says, Aloski, our physics teacher at Infantipim, Mr. Leonard Amekuji, now Professor Amekuji, Professor of Atmospheric Physics and Climate Science, is now the provost of the College of Science, KNUST. Hey, you are lucky, man.
He was their what?
He was their physics teacher at Infantipim School. He's now the Professor of Atmospheric Physics and Climate Science, Provost of KNUST. Shinofori is the wife of the immediate past moderator of the Global Evangelical Church.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Reverend Ofori. Hey, Chaneta, you are blessed, man. So she's a Reverend Minister's wife.
Yes.
No wonder her prayers worked. Wow. So because the Reverend Ofori was the immediate past moderator. Wow. She motivated to write Wasi.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. George Kusiato of Atiavi Agbelego, RC
Roman
Basic
Catholic.
School. He was my Agric and Ever teacher. Very strict and a disciplinarian. Much love to him. I owe him a lot from Godson Bumekpo of Adenta in Agric and Ever. Bernard, this man impacted generations. Mr. Hope Senior Infantipim School. Okay. Bernard, my most influential teachers, I pray God keeps them in good health. Primary, Mrs. Sosu, a.k.a. I know Dada. JSS, Mr. Kumasenu, mathematics teacher. SSS, Mr. Aheto, elective maths. Why are all these teachers Ebes? There's a lot of Ebe names. Sosu is an Ebe name. Kumasenu is an Ebe name. Mr. Aheto is an Ebe name. And then University Professor Jonathan Annan, a.k.a. Hammer, business mathematics lecturer. This is from Patrice at East Airport. All right. I'd love to give a massive shout out to Sir Isaka Sumaila Bansi and Sir Kwao of Odogono SHS. They really taught biology and physics to the core. Frankly, my favorite among the bunch. This is Edem 2014 Science 3 batch. I wish them well. So that's Odogono. What's their motto? Odogono, I want to remember. I'd like to give, okay, some of us never had any teacher support. We were on our own. From primary to tertiary, no teacher took any interest in me.
Wow.
I only celebrate my dad, who was a teacher and impacted a lot of people. Anytime they see me, they will be asking of him and telling me how he impacted their life. Michael, what are you saying? No teacher impacted you from nursery 1 to where you are today. So how come you can write? Or your father taught you at home?
Well,
were you homeschooled? Or your teachers were just bad?
Well, it's how he feels about it. So
I think we should be grateful. Even if the teacher didn't smile at you. You see, favorite teacher is not your teacher who necessarily
nice
favored you.
know, but the one who helped. And
I'll tell you something. There's a teacher in GSS called Mr. Hassan. All right. I won't say I was his favorite, but he got me to become serious in life. Because he'll be sitting, when you are talking, you can't stand and be looking at you. He'll just be looking at you. And, you know, I went to give a speech 2021 at the University Primary School, and he was still there. Mr. Farias, he was not saying it, he just be looking and saying, you are fooling. He was teaching technical skills. He was just be looking at you, like, keep fooling. So sometimes your best teachers are not teachers who favored you and gave you things. So they are teachers who, through their impact, your life changed. And I would say I became a serious student in GSS2. Because I wasn't serious in life at all until GSS2. Mr. Hassan will look at you, say, look at your writing. So you say you have, next year you have BCU. And this is how you want to go and write at that BCU. Yo, keep it up. Such things can change you because, you know, teenagers, sometimes it's not beatings that change teenagers. So sometimes you have to let them feel guilty. Then if they are wise, they will change. There's a few more coming in. Permit me to appreciate my primary school teacher in the person of Miss Goza, a woman of substance and for all. However, my JHS most influential goes to my music and guard teacher, Ata Oko. Popularly known as Teacher Oko. No, it's not Teacher Oko, it's Teacher Oko. Teacher Oko. Now, he is known by Presbyterians and people of Osu and La. God bless Teacher Oko for his efforts in making most of us understand music. This is from Richard Lorenzo of Danfa to Ata Oko, also known as Teacher Oko. Shout out to Augustine Semenu of the Great Royal School Complex, Denu, JHS Agric and Maths teacher, Mr. Benedictus Agbemavo, a.k.a. do you know the name of Agbemavo? Life will not end. Or everlasting life. Mr. Benedictus Agbemavo, a.k.a. Bishop of Mauli School, physics tutor and head of science department, Mr. James G.C. Gadje, head of department telecommunications engineering KNUST. This is coming from Eben in Seoul.
Seoul, South Korea.
Wow, look at where it came from. Great Royal School, Denu, KNUST, and now Seoul.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We all had very interesting. Okay, Godfrey, you are also taught by Dr. Gebe, right? International Relations.
No, I interviewed him.
Yes.
Dr. Gebe.
Yeah,
Very interesting. You know,
I love Gebe at
we
less,
encountered a cold side of Dr. Gebe when he taught the larger class.
But when you do the smaller classes,
when he taught us U.S. foreign policy, that's when you encountered his softer, nicer, warmer
which
side.
means that he preferred the small class size.
Yeah, but
so
for
that
me,
he can pour more insight into you guys.
But at Lesia, then I would just two. I loved Gebe, but two, Dr. Dakwa, Philip Atukwefio.
Oh, Philip looked you.
Yeah.
I interviewed Philip.
Philip took me on.
2006 or so.
You know, again, Philip was like a brother man. You see, like at that time, he's young lecturer.
He's still young.
Yes.
Philip is young at heart.
Yes.
He was an international relations expert.
Yeah, so Philip Atukwefio and Dr. Linda Dakwa.
I did.
Linda was very tough.
Dr. Dakwa.
Dr. Dakwa was very tough.
What did she teach you?
International humanitarian law. Very tough.
She taught us international. I don't want to get started on Dr. Dakwa.
All right, here are some more comments. Please mention Mr. Samuel. And by the way, you can also send us a voice note of a teacher.
Yes.
If you are, we are celebrating teachers, and I also want to say that there's a big story there. Though there are 10,000 teachers who have written the licensure exams and who are poised to leave.
Yes,
They are eligible.
They are
eligible to leave, and the Minister of
go to
Education
the
is saying that it's not a problem. We have more teachers. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
that they
agree.
say.
Our best teachers should stay and teach our kids. We are in a you see, this is the thing. UK is more developed than Ghana. You don't send your best teachers to UK and expect to catch up with them. So our best teachers should be paid well, so they stay, because we need better teaching. So let's not make it. It's the same for our best doctors and nurses.
And that's what they keep saying.
Because we are underdeveloped, and we need our teachers to stay and teach us. They shouldn't be going abroad. Pay them well to stay, and stop telling us that we are exporting doctors to Barbados and things. We don't want that. All right. So you wanted to play a voice note?
Yes. Since we're talking about teachers and everything, it's not too rosy for some, because some teachers at the Gbechile KKMA Primary School in the Kpong Katamanso district of the Greater Accra region say they are unhappy. They can't work. Think about this.
If you live at Gbechile, your roads are bad. You have traffic. Now your teachers are also complaining.
Now, Gloria Nyako, who's a basic 2 teacher at the school, which is Gbechile KKMA Primary School, says that if it were not for her age, she would have considered changing her career because she's no longer motivated. Now, she says there are no resources. The government is not providing anything. Learning materials, infrastructure, all these things are absent. So let's just hear from a teacher who is giving everything but is not getting the right support from the government.
Nice one.
Today's Teachers' Day is not well recognized because teachers are not happy. One, they are not motivated in any way. The teacher is the last person they see in the community. That does not take any motivated. They don't see the teacher as she value. But teachers are to be special in the classrooms or in the community, because if you become a lawyer, it's through the teacher, a doctor through the teacher, engineer. Every aspect of the jobs that we do is from the teacher. So teachers need to be happy and happy. You can make the teacher happy by motivation, appreciating the teacher. That teaches your word. But in our sector now, it's not like that, especially GES. The teachers are not valued at all. So it doesn't make the teacher happy in the classroom.
A few more comments, shout outs. Good morning, Bernard. Massive shout outs to Edward Tokonu, my maths teacher at basic school Chemuena in Choko Elementary. One, he made maths easy. All right, so this is to Edward Tokonu, maths teacher at Chemuena Choko Elementary 1. He made maths easy. As the world marks International Teachers Day, I want to celebrate Alhaji Issa Dwemo of blessed memory. He was our maths tutor at Prempeh College. He sowed the seed of intellectualism in us. I can also not forget our headmaster, R.T. Saki, for the seed of discipline and academic excellence he sowed in us. I celebrate all teachers, including our Sunday school teachers. So this person is your senior.
This is not just senior, this is senior.
No, this is Apia Adumaku. So I'm sure it will be early 90s. It will be 90s. Because
Yeah. Let's go to the line. We have Thomas Musa.
Oh, Thomas Musa.
Yes. Thomas Musa
Not president.
He's the president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers.
Happy National International Teachers Day, Mr. Musa.
Hello, Mr. Musa. Can you hear us?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And shouts to all teachers. Happy Teachers, International Teachers Day.
Well, same to you. We want to thank you very much for celebrating us. Good morning to yourself, all your panel members, and to all your viewers and listeners. We want to say a big thank you. Let me use this same opportunity to congratulate all teachers who have been working day and night to make sure that we build our human capital to make our country, Ghana, great and strong. Say congratulations to all of them, and thank you to everybody and all those who are supporting us. We say we are grateful, parents, students, and everybody. We are grateful to you, and God bless us all.
Great. Earlier this week, we read a story that about 10,000 teachers or so were in line to go to the UK. They had passed their certification here. They were very eligible to travel to the UK to go and work there as teachers. How concerned should we be at this number of teachers who could potentially leave the country to go elsewhere?
So thank you very much. This should be a wake-up call to each and everyone, and particularly policymakers. The challenge is that when it comes to the issue of teaching, the effect will not be seen now. We will see it, and we will feel it, and we will encounter it, we will experience it in 10 years' time. in 10 years' time? Remember, we've ever been here before when our teachers traveled to Nigeria to seek for greener pastures. It affected our educational systems seriously up to the tertiary level because all the teachers traveled to Nigeria. With the current happening, history is there to remind us. And I believe that we will never allow what is happening now to happen as it happened some time ago, some years back when our teachers traveled to Nigeria to go and seek for greener pastures. Look, we have indicated there are three main things taking the team into consideration, which is that the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. There are three things. There are three key things involved in this one, and the three things are the working environment, the tools and the equipment that the teacher will need to deliver, and then the condition of service. To address these three things, the teacher comes to the service or goes to the workplace with five main things. He goes there with his competence as an employee. He goes there with motivation, attitude, and then performance. And the employer also is expected, number one, to also ensure that the competent staff remains competent, provide the tools and other necessary materials. And then the third one is that provide supervision. Guess what? If you go to the school environment, it's nothing to write home about. How can the teacher who is going to teach computer draw computer on the board? How? When at the outside we're talking about artificial intelligence, we are here using stone to show somebody that is a mouse. You draw computer either on the flip chart or not. How can this child go and compete even in Accra? Accra, how can those in the villages come and compete in Accra? We will not even talk about outside. So if you look at the learning environment, people sit in tree and all that. The girls who even come to school, excuse me, with all apology, when they are in their menses, they can't come to school because there is a problem with the changing room. We don't have it. Some even have to go to the bush and all, among other things. So the environment is a big challenge. The next thing I have been told, the Nat has been talking about, is the equipment and the tools that are needed. Look, as we speak now, and normally we speak on these things with so much difficulty. The capitation grant, if the school has reopened, it hasn't come. Already the previous one is in arrears for over 2 years. How would you run the school when the equipment that must be provided are not there? The same classroom, how can you teach chemistry without equipment or the kind of materials? How do you teach the biology? How do you teach physics? How do you go to teach people about computer without a computer lab and those things? And we expect the children to excel. So when you have a competent staff and the materials and these tools are not there, certainly it's a challenge. The last thing I spoke about is the condition of service for the teachers. Look, if you're a teacher today, it will be difficult, if not impossible, to retire into a 2-bedroom house. It will be difficult, if not impossible, to retire into a 2-bedroom house. So no wonder everybody is leaving. When people get the opportunity, they leave. Even in Ghana here, check the media landscape. I can say that almost about 60% of those who are working within the media landscape, they are all teachers. They are all teachers because they are looking for the opportunity to leave. To leave. Because they think that, look, if I spend all my talent, my abilities, and everything I have, at the end of the day, how can I take care of my children? And so whatever we can do to get it done to solve this problem, we need to get it done. Look, teachers who are working in underserved areas, we went to negotiate with government, and government promised that 20% of their gross salary will be paid to them for accepting to go and teach on the island communities and other areas. From 2009 till now, that money has not been paid. Anytime we have gone on strike, we have written letters, we have given deadlines, gone to the Labor Commission and all that. Anytime we declare strike, they say teachers are it again. As we speaking, and somebody is going to see us at the Supreme Court that we went on strike. But the communities and the parents, together with the media, must appreciate this particular challenge. If care is not taken, what the World Bank Human Capital Index have indicated, both in 2018 and then in 2022, saying that if care is not taken, 56% of our human capital index will go, human capital will go with in the next 18 years. That is what we are, that is the course, or that is the path that we are taking now. And it is dangerous, and like I have said, when you are dealing with teachers, you will not experience it now. But in 10 years' time, you will begin to feel the impact of what we are encountering now. And if nothing at all, those who went to Nigeria during the days of Lagos or Agege should be a reminder to all of us who are alive now that never again should we allow our professionals to lead the shores of them. Therefore, whatever the government can do to make sure that the teachers are satisfied and give them all the necessary conditions they deserve should be given. Look, recently, there is another issue. The teachers who are working at the SHS level.
Okay.
The teacher who is not sleeping from morning 6 a.m. to about 3 p.m., the teacher is teaching. From around 3 up to about 5, 6, 7, the teacher will have to go and watch over these students to go and do their prep. From 8 onwards, the same teacher will now become a watchman to make sure that nobody leaves the school or breaks. Nobody should break the rules of the school by jumping out of the school for something to happen to that particular person.
Okay.
We were then, it came to our attention that they have been asked to pay rent. And we have said, look, we will not pay rent today. We will not pay rent tomorrow. We will not pay rent today. We will not pay rent. If you provide accommodation for a security man, a security post or something, you ask the watchman to pay money for staying in that security post. Yeah? The president even promised us 2 years ago that 10,000 houses will be built. Where are they? Where are the houses? So please, it is becoming like when anytime teachers ask for something, people will say, oh, we are many and all that. The stage and the place where we are going, we cannot stop the exodus. And like I'm saying, I hope that we are not going back to the days of Agege.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean,
Mr. Musa, thank you.
You've laid out a
Happy
lot
World
of
Teachers Day.
But yeah.
And may all your prayers be answered.
Yes.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
We'll keep pushing the agenda
The
for
days
teachers.
of Agege. Do you know Agege?
Yes.
So that was, for listeners, somebody who, if you just tuned in, that was Thomas Musa.
President
He's
of NAS.
president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers.
I have Nigerian friends who said they were taught by Ghanaian teachers who went to Agege. But I know Agege is actually a place in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know why they call it Agege. A lot of shouts for teachers. So.
Oh, yes.
Let me read this one.
Teachers have done a lot.
The late George Ogbe was everything English at St. Mary's Seminary SHS Lolobi. This is coming in from James Obeku. Skelly Dread says, as for me, my best teacher be Adwa Kambu.
Hey, Philo.
She shaped my logical reasoning. Charlie, no wonder you're a Rasta man.
I took her level 100 intro to philosophy class.
You ran away. Adwa Kambu.
Adwa Kambu.
Deadly. Mr. Mahu Amano got me from getting 7% in maths and yet to the top 5 of my class and eventually graduating as a science student. This is coming from Danwell. So the man really changed him. This one is coming in from Ajoto Forsen. My best basics teacher is SK Mensa of V. Koluenu EP Middle Primary. It was middle secondary rather. It was my chemistry teacher at Kmando Secondary, Mr. Adraku, aka Aromi. For university, it was Professor Owusu Benoit, the late, of Agric faculty who handled soil chemistry. So you see the funny thing. His wife taught me, and somebody is now referencing the man himself, teaching soil chemistry. So you see how things work.
A couple more. Please mention Mr. Samuel and Naughty.
Okay.
Ghana Communication Technology University. Charlie, this man, discrete maths, props and stats, he's just good. This was initially I didn't like her, but I later loved her because she spoke up for me. The late Mrs. France, University Primary School.
Yes, class 4U. Mrs.
4U.
She taught me remedial class.
Okay.
Mrs. France.
My favorite teacher is Bingo Abudu from Saboba. He taught me mathematics.
Bingo Abudu.
Yes.
All right.
Please shout out to Professor Mansapra, former Dean of the Faculty of Social Science at the University of Cape Coast.
right.
She was the hard one at the time with so much respect and discipline. This is Gideon Esau from Total
Send
Energies.
her some total
Vouchers.
Vouchers or something.
Don't just send thank you. Then you say, oh, madam, today we brought a hamper, some things, and then some fuel.
Okay.
That's what
Just-
you should do.
Bernard, I would like to thank Mr. Shitu of Joyful Home Academy. He's currently not working there anymore, but he really influenced us in the 2012 year group. He always found ways to help you understand science. This one says, my favorite teacher is my dad, Mr. Anthony Nsifo, aka Crowbar of St. Augustine's College.
Crowbar.
My dad shaped my life even though I was in his school, but in Fansipim.
Okay.
Everything he taught me in his training is still with me. My teacher, Mr. Lyall of Fansipim, was a wonderful teacher as well. May God bless you, Mr. Lyall, aka Lyall Rice. They sell rice for
I
them.
tell you. We had a teacher who used to sell some milk ice cream, Mr. Mola. He said it is very milky.
We also had one, Suncheck. Charlie Suncheck rice. Suncheck. Oh,
Then we had to work with Boy Badu. His wife used to fry yam. The yam they be rough. Some stew be.
we had Uti bread and egg
Hey, Charlie.
with Fanta.
Those are the things I miss.
Bread and egg with Fanta.
No, Mr. Boy B's wife's fried yam, the stew, no? When you used to eat kenke, it was a new revelation. It was a,
New one.
It was a fried yam stew, but who did you kenke? A new revelation.
Charlie, and then when we got to Form 2, we had a teacher called Jiwazi.
Yes.
Charlie, his wife developed some formula for Fanti Kenke.
Some formula.
Some formula for Fanti Kenke and beans.
I was just say the NSMQ team will have to give you the
Charlie,
chemical composition.
The formula was said that the kenke could only be sold at 4 in the afternoon. Aloski, by 5 p.m., the kenke is finished. Jiwazi. Good morning.
They send you to go and learn in school. That's how you are doing.
Good morning, serious team. My favorite teacher from in first form was Mr. Anderson,
Okay.
a math teacher. I was a pure art student, but he impacted my life there in a way I can never forget. Uni, we have here Kentin Brenya and Matikoli of the psychology department,
Afia
and also
Kentin is a
Dr.
good guy.
Mrs. Margaret Anser and Dr. and Mrs. Banini of the Language Center UG during my national service period where I was their TA from Kwame Na Aqua.
Okay.
This one says, to my JHS math teacher, Mr. Nakpaderi Nicodemus.
Thank you. Nakpaderi Nicodemus.
Nicodemus.
Charlie, a man called Nicodemus.
Yeah. I was one of my mates was Nicodemus. We were actually in the same
I
lab
think
group
we
together.
can count the number of Nicodemus on our finger.
I say thank you,
Yeah.
and may God bless him wherever he may be.
Wow.
This man transformed a math phobia into a scholar.
Wow.
How the transformation was done is reserved for another day. We want to hear it.
Nakpaderi Nicodemus. Nakpaderi Nicodemus.
This one says, good morning. Bernard, my best teacher in junior high school is Mr. Ja. From the year 2000 to 2003 at Amfueta.
Amfueta Gogame.
Amfueta Bogame.
Amfueta.
Secondary school was Mr. Prosper Adonu of Amfuega Senior High.
Amfuega.
Senior High. He taught us business. He was the first accounting teacher for the school.
Okay.
I thank Mr. Ofusuhene Jan, now of Kofodia Technical University. He made physics so easy for me during my senior high school period at Benkum Senior High School.
Wow.
From Dr. Achina,
Okay.
a teacher at Yulo Krobo Senior High School.
You know-
Hey, Yulo Sec, the president is coming. No?
Yikrosek.
Yikrosek, the
Yeah,
president is
The
coming.
education minister.
They are
Well,
doing
the
speech
president-
day tomorrow.
The education minister will be there. Mr. Chachu of Christ the King taught me social studies. This man had me reading newspaper in JHS. God bless that guy.
Solid.
Good morning, guys. My love for mathematics is attributed to two teachers in Kofodia Sectech.
Okay.
Mr. Dede and Sambat.
Okay.
I've never seen committed math teachers like these two. After scoring grade 4 in BEC,
Hey.
I thought maths was over for me until I met these two teachers in senior high school.
Wow.
They helped me to score A's in both core and elective
From
maths.
a 4 in BEC maths to A in
Yes.
SSS core and elective.
Yes, ever since math has been my favorite
Mr.
subject.
Dede and Mr. Sambat need to be given awards.
Yes, they've done well.
To convert a 4 to an A in elective maths. Oh man, Eric.
I also got serious with formal education in junior high school, all thanks to Mr. Matthew Akakpo. He made me realize what was ahead of me in life. The man really lashed me in class and at home.
Chia.
God bless him.
Oh, Chiala.
God bless Miss Linda Akasireku. All it took was for her to say they would never learn and gave us a snippet of her life struggle in the village. And that was enough motivation to do better in life.
Kwame Fearfully.
Fearfully.
Legon.
from East Legon. Hi, Bernard. My favorite teacher is Mr. Gordon Osemafo. He was my accounting teacher and the head of business department at Trinyamafo Sectec.
Toss.
He's the husband of the High Court Judge Lydia Osemafo.
Wow.
Bernard,
Amanfo. Sectec.
powerful football team back in the day. They had one of the best football teams I've ever seen.
Amanfo, Ashanti.
Yes. No, BA.
BA, okay.
Yes.
Amanfo, okay.
Bernard, I want to send my warm regards to my biology teacher in McGee's, Mr.
McGee's is Methodist Girl High.
Yes. Very good school. Mr. Kweku Kosa Enimfu, aka Pilolo,
aka Kailolo.
This guy was calm, gentle, well dressed, and he made our classes exciting.
Yeah.
But now they rush small, kakra.
Yeah, no suka.
It's part of the flex.
He impacted my academics and gave me an idea who I just was. Charlie, let me tell you a story, Aloski.
Yeah.
We had an accounts teacher. He was butler house master.
Yeah,
Called him Pao.
Pao.
Pao was this tall.
Short.
It's short. Bald head.
But effective.
No, he had the
Apampim
store, you know, with the mustache.
Hey, deadly.
And Pao walks with this funny walk. He shakes his head like this. Now, when Pao leaves Butler House,
Yes.
the South will start.
Fans no.
Pao! Then he walks slowly.
That's for presenters BB.
Yeah. So if you know Pepper College architecture,
Yeah.
from Butler House to the dining hall, you have to walk past all the houses.
So Biana fans
Yeah, so we start,
it was like
Pao!
it's like they are doing this thing. This thing.
Mexican
wave. Now here's the thing. We changed Pao's name later
To what?
to MD.
Why?
And he'll come down. This is Kwesi Akolache and his people who did that.
Change his name to MD.
To MD. Now, Pao open day is telling parents that Charlie, he was teaching a course. Kolani said, "My bing." He's almost friend me MD, managing director. Charlie, meanwhile, the MD was pom darling.
But friends are bad, wow.
Kwesi Akolache does change the verse.
And see, the more they give you fans sometimes, it's not
It was
good.
like,
Let me read a few more here.
Continue.
The most influential teacher is Joseph Otu Aye. He is now an Anglican priest at Legon. He taught me general agriculture at Nsawam's secondary school. I used to be all over the place and unfocused. He saw me fooling in class one day, called me and said I should walk with him to the post office. On the way, he said, "Young man, you are capable of being anything you want. You have to get out of the crowd. There's no leader in the crowd. Let's just say my outlook on what I'm capable of changed from that day. Oh, and he showed my young self the meaning of dedication to one's job." This is coming from Kwame Akpese.
Okay.
Teresa says, "My favorite teacher is Dr. F.C. Mills Robertson, who taught us biology at Ebri Girls in sixth form, 95 to 96. He made the subject fun." This is Teresa from Tema. Joe Ampofo says, "Shout out to Ringo of Motown." Ringo. You don't mention his subject, but I'm sure those who know. Ringo.
Okay.
Fred Papu is a football man.
Yes.
I can't miss this opportunity to celebrate all my teachers, especially the late Mrs. Comforte Champong.
Papse is remembering his teachers.
Yes.
Papse is remembering his
You know,
teachers.
it's another day.
Wait. Calm down.
Yes.
Mr. Fred Papu. Papse.
Yes. He's remembering his teachers.
He is remembering his teachers.
Yes.
Hey! We are talking 19.
You mean Papse should be remembered?
Papse himself should be remembered.
Mrs. Comforte Champong.
We are dealing with-
Mrs. Champong, I will say, was the best teacher of a generation of pre-seconds.
Okay.
Who, even though didn't teach me directly, was our patron for the drama club, quiz writers and debaters club.
Oh, okay.
And the editorial board.
Okay.
So there's a whole generation of men. From my brother Dela to Papses, them, all of them, even to people like H.S. Ikanku.
Okay.
That Mrs. Champong taught us.
Okay.
Amazing woman, best teacher of all time.
Hey, Papse.
And then he's also giving shout outs to Mrs. Rose Ankra and then Professor Kwesi Adakwa of KNUST.
University.
So Papse, you were taught by proper people. But isn't he an executive or he's left?
No, he's not. But Papse has moved his Division 3 team to my neighborhood. I will score
He
him.
wants to go and worry you.
He wants to do something. Papse, I will score you. I'm telling you.
A few more comments on teachers before we go. We had an interview with DVLA shortly.
yes.
Okay.
We'll
On
get to
something
that.
they're doing.
This one
says-
says,
okay.
shout outs to my all-time teacher in JSS, Edmund Okra, aka Sedi. He's now a reverend. It says every Temadatu student knows him. He influenced everybody
Temadatus.
positively. So that's from Roger Nana Otu Gardner of the 97.
Nana Redamo is congratulating his best teacher, Brother Edem, now customs officer.
The man
Saw
ran
him
away.
yesterday at airport.
The man ran away.
Thomas Musa is right.
The man ran away.
My classes teacher at Providence Preparatory Kotobabi. You know, some of them have become priests, some of them have become media
Yes.
people, some of them have become politicians,
Yes.
some of them have become customs officers. You know.
Yeah, some of them also move up to do other things.
Yeah.
My teacher in Pujos, James Bwedi, aka Unconcerned, he prepped me to write
Unconcerned.
November, December before was a year before my completion. He taught me accounting, accounts math, and a bit of costing. He would wake me up at 4 a.m. to start the class and also taught me during prep. Good morning. God bless Dr. Eric Nkansa, Director General, Ghana
GS.
Education Service.
Okay.
He was my financial management lecturer and project supervisor.
Hey.
He encouraged me, and I'm now a chartered accountant.
So Dr.
I'm
Eric
grateful.
Nkansa is a lecturer, eh?
Yes. So this one is from
okay.
Stephen J. This is my JHS English and Cultural Studies teacher, Mr. Kwashi Apiedu of 7th grade Precious Academy, who is now the headmaster of the school.
Wow.
This one, Mr. George Macy, Jackie Chan, Mr. George Macy, aka Jackie Chan, elective math teacher of Adisadel College, best math teacher ever from Rhode Island. And we had one called Fastest.
But how do students give nicknames to teachers?
The fastest, it means he could go through the syllabus faster than anyone.
We had, we had a teacher called, I didn't do visual arts, but Mr. Reverend Ambrose Samuel, they call him Pola.
Polar.
So when he's coming, you say, on your man, guess it, Pola. Have to run.
We had one called Cisco. There's the one who taught us singing. There's choir master.
But why
we called him Cisco.
Why were senior house masters so
mean?
Charlie?
You know,
Unquoted to Pola.
but you know, there's only one standard for this.
Oh, square.
Oh, square. Oh, square.
His fame went abroad.
Oh, squared.
No,
Mr. Obi Odu.
There are few teachers whose names go beyond the corridors of their school.
Mr. Alex Obi Odu.
He went beyond regions.
He would come to the dining and say, the headmaster has shown his usual magnanimity. Bernard Avler, you are not suspended. You will weed. That is the magnanimity. You will do some weeding.
You weed for 2 weeks.
In our morning assembly, his house was way at the back. So when we are standing in front of the admin for morning assembly, you see him making a solo walk
From his house.
up, like he's in the middle, holding 3 canes that he has soaked in
water.
No, wait, you know, he was a chemistry teacher.
So he has sold it.
He has soaked it in things. Oscar skins. Charlie, he has soaked it. Hey, Oscar.
Because boys are bad.
Charlie,
Boys are bad.
Olaski, this one gave me 3. I was this one is from
You
2.
still remember?
Charlie, Olaski, you know what he did?
Yes.
He took me to the Science Resource Center
Yes.
and asked me to put my bottles by the AC. So I sat down by the AC for like 10 minutes. This is before the preparation for the last, I chilled my bottles and I was talking in class and he caught me. He was passed. And then after I had sat down for 10 minutes by the AC, he pulled out one of the weapons from the liquids and tested it. And then this one gave me 3. Alaski.
Oh my God.
I will not forget the 3.
Where is he now?
He's passed away.
Oh, Lord.
He became headmaster of Tema Secondary School.
Oh, okay. All right, the final one. This one says my favorite teacher, mentor, and motivator was Mr. D.K. Anobo
Charlie, these
of
stories.
STC JSS in Winneba. He was outstanding and a hardcore disciplinarian. He was the headmaster and he could keep teachers and students on their toes.
Let me do a last
That's
one.
Wonderful Tego Dazi.
Benny, CEO of Lavites Made in Ghana Rice, appreciating Mr. Abutiate, who taught him TD, and the man prayed bad temper out of her. He was an SU coordinator at the 48 Engineers Basic and JHS School.
Okay.
He lay hands on me daily and prayed for me.
Amen. Did you know a Pythagoras? UPS. Mr. Amfo.
Mr. Amfu. Oh, Mr. Amfu was a great maths teacher.
Yeah.
Mr. Amfu. And then, of course, in Presec, we had a teacher called Mr. Dompre Braku. Brother in the corner over there. Have you done your quiet time?